Thanks for visiting Patient and the Weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather stress forecast for March 14th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We maintain a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our patient weather storefront support the activities of patient weather. Looking at the surface map for Saturday, you can see there is an elaborate front hanging all the way from northern California to Cheyenne, with a little low there over the northern plains, stretching all the way through St. Louis, Louisville, and over to Raleigh. Lots of unsettled weather from the Pacific Northwest across Montana all the way across the northern third of the country to Michigan. Lots of snow for that northern third. And then if you look to the far south, you'll see there's a remnant of a front hanging across Florida and lots of unsettled weather there with showers and thunder showers. The lifted or vitality index here is a measure of all of that unsettled weather, and it does look like there's something really across the northern half of the country, especially in the Pacific Northwest with that atmospheric river, lots of snow across the northern plains, and lots of unsettled weather up and down the plains from Oklahoma to North Dakota and from Missouri into Iowa, and then another area of unsettled weather here in the Northeast. Looking at pressure change, rising pressure is likely across Washington and Oregon and on up into Vancouver and portions of north or southwestern Canada. If we look at rising pressure again here in the east, it stretches all the way from Michigan across northern Indiana into Ohio, all the way down to North Carolina, and then back north across all of the middle Atlantic states, Delaware, and New York, and trying to make its way into Connecticut and probably Vermont. We have falling pressure across the Wyoming and Colorado and up and down the plains from northern Texas to really into North Carolina and across Missouri into Iowa. Looking at temperature change, and temperatures are bobbing around. We have some warming temperatures here across Nebraska, Kansas, and into Missouri. But we have falling temperatures with that winter activity across Oregon into Idaho and Montana and Wyoming. Looking at the change in dew point, very much the same issue with the rising dew points across up and down the plains. Vapor pressure not doing much difference at all. And on the lifted index, we already talked about showers and thunder showers across the southern half of Florida. Looking at the change in atmospheric oxygen, you'll see we do have a risk of migraine along coastal Southern California. We have a significant risk of migraine across Oregon and Washington and in Vancouver and across Idaho into westernmost portions of Wyoming and across the northern third of Montana. But a very significant risk of migraine from Michigan all the way south to Raleigh, and then back north all of the states, moving on up across New Jersey into Connecticut, picking up the western half of Massachusetts and Vermont, but really significant across Michigan and Ohio. The risk of asthma and arthritis stretches all the way up the plains from Texas to North Dakota, and it is most significant here in Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. And a little bit of lingering asthma and arthritis risk here across eastern Maine, stretching on into New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.